Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Finn and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Finn is going to come home with his very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, Finn is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training starts and stops. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Finn heel, and at this point Finn has a job to do, and that is to walk nicely next to your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind. And each time that you stop walking, he has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you're walking on the street, he should be focused more on you than he is about what's going on around him. And when you stop to cross traffic, he should sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Your sit stay helps to develop attention span and self-control, so you want to lengthen out the amount of time he can hold it comfortably. When Fred returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him, returning all the way back to where they started. You can't pass his shoulders without giving him another command. Fred told him to heel again, and they take off walking. And this makes walking with your dog a pleasure. So many people call us and say, I can't even walk my dog in public. He drags me. He's pulled me to the ground. This way, Finn is right with you, walking nicely like a gentleman and sitting every time that you stop your feet. And if he doesn't, you tell him no sit. Fred leaves him in another sit stay. And again, you can practice this indoors as well as outdoors, but instead of returning back to him this time, Fred's going to call him. And this is the recall or the come on command, and he comes right in front and sits. And then they take off heeling again. He's doing a really great job. It's nasty cold out here, and it's raining, and he's still doing a really good job. He's a little bit of a soft guy. He can be a little bit intimidated easily, so you want to keep it having a good time with him. He can also use that to manipulate you. And he's been crating beautifully for us here at the school. Fred leaves him in another sit stay. He's going to use his name in a happier voice and call him in. Praises him on the way in. What a good job, because we always want him to know that coming to you is a happy event. And I think with him, you're going to have to just encourage him, because we're trying to develop some self-confidence with him. Now, the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground to give him the down and the stay. Now, your down stay, especially when you're practicing indoors where it's nice and warm, can be longer. You can start out at about 2 minutes and work up to 5 minutes. And this again is about developing self-control and maturity. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, and Finn should remain lying there until Fred gets all the way back to his shoulders. And again, we give him another command, and we'll show you that exercise again. He's a big boy, you know, he's a big lanky puppy, so we give him a little bit of extra time on that automatic sit, but don't give him too long. We want you to have fun with this, and we want him to enjoy it too, and that way you will practice. It's a great bonding experience for the dog and the owner. Now this time Fred's going to call him out of that down. Fred praises him on the way in, and then he goes back to heel. Great job. Now the next exercise and the last exercise that we're going to show you is your down from a distance. So with your dog seated, you leave him in a sit-stay. You walk out to the end of your leash and you turn to face him.
No.
Whoops. And dogs are dogs, and sometimes they're not perfect. Fred takes him all the way back around to the sit, leaves him in a stay again, walks out to the end of his leash and turns to face him, uses his right hand to give the command, and he lays down like a gentleman. Now we've demonstrated for you all of Finn's formal on-leash obedience commands. He's done a really great job with them. We'll also have a packet of information for you that we will go over with you during your follow-up training session. We've enjoyed him. He's a very nice boy. I think you made a good pick, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.